Good morning, everybody. Love the energy in the room today. Thank you for being here. We have a lot of ground to cover. We don't have one speaker. We have two incredible speakers. And we want to make sure we get through it all today. So real quick, tell me something good. What good happened in your businesses last week? Clark.
Yeah, it's like welcome Ethan Jackson.
Oh, everybody say hi, Ethan.
Well, nice to meet you.
Wonderful. And then anything else?
Yeah, I have a couple of other agents probably online. One is Alkeisha,
Alkeisha, hello online.
and she's out of Tampa,
Okay.
Florida, and then Ashley is also out of Tampa.
Ashley.
And I think that's it.
All right. Well, welcome online. Thank you for being here. Speaking of guests, Zach, you have a guest as well. Everybody say hi to Alexis.
Almost complete.
Almost. Complete. All right. Wonderful. We love everybody. Just EXP more. And then upcoming. Any other? Tell me something good before we get rolling.
Yeah, I got one.
What do you got? A new escrow. Congratulations. Round of applause. How did you get that deal? Where did that come from?
My friends that I've known for a while, they live up in
Here. Love it. All right. All right. Zach.
I'm doing a deal with Rick Silva
Okay.
and in Newcastle, and I just got 32 grand's worth of repairs authorized from him, and he's going to put it in escrow. And we got like AC, wastewater pipe, loads of stuff.
Wonderful. So $32,000 credit, guys. That is what sellers need to do right now, honestly, to move these properties. If you haven't seen Keeping Current Matters or Ryan Lundquist blogs, or if you're not looking at trend graphics, the listings are becoming stale. They're sitting longer because sellers just don't want to hear that news. But we're talking about something good. When we're going to move on to upcoming events. We've got a ton of events coming up. Cyndy Silva, she was on the radio show this week with us. So her episode's going to air this Saturday. So if you want to hear more about Cyndy Silva and a little bit about what she's going to talk about today, you can see that on the radio show and they're here on the radio show. And then what's next, Jose? Oh, okay. So just two things. One, we will not be here this Thursday or this coming Thursday. There will not be a meeting in this room. Instead, we are all going to the Sacramento EXP regional rally. It's going to be at Cata. So for some of you, that's closer than coming here. For those of you, that's an extra 10-minute drive. It's not very far. You can do this. Make sure you RSVP, scan the QR code. It is $49 to get in. People are driving hours and hours and hours away to attend this. 15 minutes down the road. Again,
happens once a year.
happens once a year. They're going to find some incredible speakers. Who is it? Who's speaking at it?
Karen's coming from Land
John
Ranch.
Side. That's what I was thinking of. And then who
Karen's
else?
coming from Land Ranch.
Yep, ton of great people. So moving on. So is that following Thursday? Following Thursday, Chad is going to be talking about trusts and how you can use that to earn business and have repeat referral business. And then after that, Wendy Goss. So June 19th, again, we will not be here. This is going to be a weird couple of weeks because we're going to be doing the event at Catavadera. And then 2 weeks later, we're going to be doing our monthly meeting at PCAR. Brent is flying in Wendy Goss. She's going to be talking about how to become a luxury agent. What's great about her story is she recently was not a luxury agent, but she implemented this program and she's going to teach us how to do it. And since implementing this program, she's taken 2, 3, 4, 7, I think $10 million listings. Whose house? She sold Michael Jackson's house recently. So this is somebody who didn't grow up in a luxury environment, but has been able to capture luxury market share. So if you want to learn about that, bring a friend. June 19th. And then after that, we're going to have Liz Anderson. She's going to be speaking on reverse mortgages. It's a great tool, especially for your clients who are wanting to move out of state, relocate out of state, or maybe relocate closer to family. So she's going to be speaking on that and how you can generate business with that. And then, of course, there's some great golf tournaments out there. APM throws a good one every year. No offense to APM, they come in second place. This is the golf tournament to attend. Spring Crandalls, make sure you scan the QR code, swing for the kids. It's a good time. Like you've been, Cyndy, right?
Yeah, I'm on the board for it, so it sells out every year, you guys, so make sure if you want to play or volunteer or donate whatever you can to us,
Yeah.
please do it right away, because this event sells out every year. This is our 14th year doing it, and all the money that we raise goes to
Shriners.
Shriners Kids, yes, is what it is, and we get a lot of Shriners people that play as well, so Please come. It is literally the funnest golf tournament you could possibly go to. It's crazy.
It's so good, it's so good. So you just scan the QR code there. Then do we have any more events? All right, so
Okay, guys, tomorrow, 10 a.m. in this room and on Zoom, with alexdyer.com, we're gonna do bull trail training. We do it every single week. Tomorrow, we're gonna cover the Chicago One app, how it ties into the KV Core platform. Our wonderful Heather's gonna be there to help us. So we want to invite you, but make it part of your schedule. I'll leave you with this: 95% of agents don't embrace CRMs. That means the 5% that do control 95% of the business. We all know that. That's a lot. So come learn with us.
come learn how, what is the URL again?
Zoom with alexdyer.com.
Zoomwithalexdyer.com. And so it says KV Cool, but it is Bold Trails, by the way. Has anybody heard the news about there's Bold Trails, there's Lofty, and then there is Close, CLOZE. So there are 3 real estate CRM options within EXP. So
Lofty is the option.
Pick one of them and learn them.
pick one of them and learn them. The one that Alex is teaching on is Bold Trails. It's KV Core meets, what was it?
Hiking.
What was it?
MS DOS.
No, it was a super famous one. Boomtown. So it's KV Core makes Boomtown. It's now gonna, it's what Bold Trail is. What Bold Trail is. All right, moving on. All right. For our lender minute, we got the in-house lender, Mr. JJ Mack. Everybody, please give him a round of applause.
Hi, thank you. Somebody can take my place. I got a lady that wants it. I'll come back out there. All right. So I want to give you guys some things today that you can utilize to make you grow your business bigger, stronger, and better than it was today. Before I do that though, I know you guys are always asking me, what's your rate? What's the rates? Where are we at? We've seen some improvement over the last week. So heck yeah, I'm liking that. People are calling, all the buyers are seeing things online, Instagram's blowing up, right? Thinking, should I refinance now? Is that the time? We're not quite there, but we're getting there. You know, things are getting better. And you know why that is? Anybody know why rates got better this week?
Inflation, people on board.
There's some inflation stuff about it. You know, anybody know why inflation, why the fear of inflation is going away gradually?
End of tariffs?
Yeah, so Trump obviously is trying to pass, not to get political, but Trump's, he's trying to get these tariffs passed, right? He's trying to continue to get, he said, we're not going to do anything for, I think, what was it, 9 weeks or something. But one of the judges came in and said, okay, you can't do that. You can't raise tariffs like that. You can't do it. So what that did is it allowed the market to feel better about going in and putting their money in the market. So now investors are starting to then say, okay, I think we're okay. I think inflation is going to keep coming down, because when inflation goes up, or when tariffs come on, there's a risk for more inflation. And that means that prices will go higher. And so when that happens, we're going to see now that fear is subsiding. Interest rates start coming down. If you look at your stock portfolios today, they're probably up a little bit. So that's, not to get political, that's just what's happening in the market. And so what we're all looking for is June 17 and 18. That's the next Fed meeting. Because this has all happened, that gives the Fed a chance to potentially lower rates. Before this, there probably wasn't a very good chance, with this risk of potential inflation continuing to go. So talk to your clients about this, let them know that there's a chance that rates could be coming down, and we're already seeing that. I want to ask you guys a question. Anybody know how many, I'm changing the subject here. Anybody know how many of the loans from last year were non-QM based, percentage-wise? Anybody know what non-QM loans are? Any example of a non-QM loan? Okay, so what's that?
Qualified mortgage.
Yeah, non-qualified mortgage. That would be something like a bank statement loan, a DSCR loan, right? So this time last year, it took up about 5% of the market. Anybody have any guesses what it is now? 10%. It's doubled. Smart, dude. You must be watching the same videos I'm watching.
I just know they're good loans.
But yeah, so it's gone up 5% in a year. Yeah, there's a lot of things that happen. So some of the things I put in here. So bank statement loans, DSCR loans, asset depletion loans, P&L loans, 1099 loans, interest only, foreign national loans, recent credit event loans. All these are based off of the standard non-QM type loan. So basically, what we do is we're able to take a buyer in that doesn't qualify for your standard conventional type loan. And I can't tell you how many times we've rescued deals because of this. There is times where we've got a deal and they couldn't qualify. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, whoever it was, said they couldn't do it. Here's something that is very important to realize. When you get a no, don't take that no and just move forward for it. Make sure you're actually getting a second opinion. Your client deserves that. And so the moral of the story, when other lenders say no, make sure you're getting that second opinion. You've got a deal, it's shaky, don't just kill it. Make sure you're bringing it to somebody else. Because 10% of the time, you might be able to save that deal based off of a non-QM loan. So I want to talk to you really quick about a story, and then I'll give the mic back. But we had a rescue file last week, that closed last week, I should say. And this buyer came to us, self-employed, owned 3 different companies, had income, but he couldn't show any of the income, right? He got shot down by 2 lenders. He actually tried to get a bank statement loan from another one of the lenders. What they didn't realize, though, is that they only got the last 12 months of bank statements from him. We got the last 24 months of bank statements, and it actually worked out. So I wanted to share with you that loan closed in 14 days and actually met the close of escrow. That client was so excited at the end of the day because not only did he have a loan, but he had a loan that was with less down payment. This was only a 10% down loan. They were trying to put him for 20% down. So he had an extra 10% in his pocket and he didn't have any mortgage insurance. These non-QM loans, you can put as low as 10% down and they don't have mortgage insurance. So he was able to have a lower payment, a lower down payment, and close in 14 days. So the moral of the story here, don't just give up on your loan. The client deserves to talk to another lender and make sure that it works out. There's rescue loans that are happening all over the place. This is the 10% of loans that are happening right now are non-QM loans. So we talked about economy a little bit, what's happening with tariffs and inflation. We talked about rescue loans. There's some things on the board if you want. You can text or call that number for any of those things. Anything else that you guys can think of, please feel free to ask now. If you raise your hand or come find me after. Give it one more second. Okay. Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, James. All right, so just want to make sure we have the right slide up. So we don't have one speaker, we have 2 speakers presenting today. And the first speaker, I was like, Brent, we've already heard about this. I think I was telling Rob, we've already heard this. It's like, no, this is new, this is better. You're gonna want to present this to the agents. So everybody, please welcome to the front of the room, Jim Adams.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Appreciate you allowing me to be here today. When I first started the Brent Gove team meetings, there was 5 of us. We sat around at a table. It was me, Brent, a lady by the name of Sandra Sandoval, Robin Hallmark, and Scott Elkable. That was the Brent Gove team, and that was in 2001. So been doing Brent's teams for a long time. A big supporter of Brent, and he and I have supported each other through the years. My wife was an escrow officer that most of his team used. We now own a title company in Nevada, and now my daughter is sitting back there. Didn't know she was going to show up. I'm sitting with Chicago Title, and she's now an escrow officer. So I'm not here to push escrow or title. So I am here to talk about Equity Protect. I was here a couple of years ago, and we talked about Equity Protect and what it is, and I'll give a quick kind of recap of what we do. A lot of us have heard of title deed fraud, title mortgage fraud, equity fraud, and we see commercials out on TV, home title lock, and they talk about, oh, we'll monitor your title for you, $200 a year, and we'll notify you if something has occurred on your title. Has anybody heard those commercials? Seen them? Title fraud and imposter fraud or seller fraud is the 2nd largest growing crime right now, according to the FCC. So it's something that we got to be aware of. So me and a partner created a company called Equity Protect. And basically what we do is we protect your title similar to Credit Lock does for your credit. I'm not going to talk about it today. If you want to see me afterwards, I'll hang around and we'll talk about it. But what I want to share with you today is kind of a technology that we built to go along with it. So you can click for me. So that's just the founders. It's myself. I've been in this industry for more than 23 years. I was with First American for about 20 years. I own a title company in Nevada. I'm licensed in 38 states. My partner Ryan Marshall created the third largest data aggregator in the US. Some of you probably use this technologies without knowing, but I've been close friends for a lot of years. Anyway, we founded Equity Protected. Again, we just specialize in protecting property owners from title fraud and equity theft, and we do it through a system where we lock down your title. Nothing can happen without you first unlocking it and letting it happen. So we can go on. We can skip this. It's just common threats. We all kind of know what the threats are, but seller impersonation is one of the largest ones. Next slide. So what we did was we figured out a way to kind of work with real estate agents. Now, one thing that we found was a lot of times people will come to us and say, hey, they would do a risk analysis on our website. So if you go to equityprotect.com, there's a place where you can put your property address in and we'll run a risk analysis and say, are you at medium risk, high risk, or low risk? And it all depends on different factors. Are you owner occupied with a high LTV? You're not going to be much at risk for this type of fraud. If you're non-owner occupied and you pay cash for your property, you're at high risk. And we see them every day. We stop them pretty much once a week. We have something that we stop. But and right now we're in about 46 states. We have several patents. We've been given all sorts of awards. We have actually one state that is writing in the Senate bill that will require our product on high risk properties. So it's you go to our website, you do the risk analysis, and if you were at low risk, people would still call us and say, hey, I want to get your system. And we were like, no, we're really not a value for you. So what we started doing was monitoring for it. Well, we can go to the next slide. So what we did was we created a partnership with Brent's team or his organization in EXP to where agents would be able to offer the free monitoring to your clients. So your previous buyers, you would now be able to say, hey, we can monitor your property for you for this type of fraud, and it's free of charge to you. If you were to go sign up for home title lock, it's going to cost about $240 a year. So you, as an agent, are going to offer this to your client at free of charge. How much is it going to cost you? Nothing. So if you go to that link right there up top, you go here and say, create a free account. Go to the next slide. And this site just shows a little bit of what's on the site. Next slide. We'll go through it fast. Create your account. Next slide. Sorry. You're going to enter a little bit of information for us. Put your photo in there. You're going to put your company logo in there, your license number. We're going to go out and pull out all the last 12 months where you represented a buyer, and we'll automatically load it in the system. You can then also go in and load more properties into the system. So you put your information in here. Next slide. All your properties pull back. We even give you a risk. Hey, how do your clients risk? What are the risk levels? To turn on monitoring, you simply click the button, it clicks on, you enter their email address and their mobile number, and they'll get sent an email saying, hey, your agent, Rob Lewis from EXP, has signed you up for this free property monitoring, what it does, how it protects them. And all of the emails that go out are branded with you and your information. So once a month, they're going to get an email. The email is going to come from you. It's going to have your information, your branding, that you're providing them this protection. So you can go to the next one. We'll show some of the emails. Next one. One thing you do have to do, the little button up there says Go Premier. You have to sign up for it. It's $20 a year, unlimited properties. The reason I have to do that is because I own a title company. I don't want RESPA coming back saying, hey, you gave all these EXP agents this free product and now we're coming after you. So it's $20 a year, unlimited properties. Don't care how many you do. But that's why you have to pay $20 so I don't get in trouble. Next slide. So this would be the first email that come out. Dear homeowner, the name of Rob Lewis with EXP Realty is giving you this free gift. Do you want the monitoring? Yes. Do you want the monitoring? No. I can tell you we have some agents in Southern California that signed up through a title company version of it. And one of the agents, he called all of his clients and he was signing them up. Hey, I'm doing this for you for free. It's a great system. Just click yes. One of the guys that he did it for said, hey, will you do it for my kid's property, my sister's property, and my mom's property? All of a sudden, this guy got 4 or 5 contacts from one guy and he was willing to pay for it. They're like, no, I'll do it for free for you. He's like, really? So it is a way to contact your clients. And again, all the emails come branded. Next slide. So keep going. Keep going. This is just explaining our risk and how we judge what's at risk, but we can talk about that more if you want to call me. All of them branded. Next email. So this is what goes out monthly. We run a risk analysis form every month. So they're going to get an email saying, hey, your property's at low risk, medium risk, high risk. We'll explain why it's at risk. You can click next slide. Next one. And then we give them a promo code if they want to sign up for protection. So if they want to lock down their property, it's $99 a year. It's cheap. And again, nothing happens without it. And the promo code comes from you. It's a 20% discount. So again, all brand. I think that's it. I think I just have questions. So little reason why we partnered with EXP and Equity Protect is most importantly, it puts you in front of your past clients with something about it. We have a hard time a lot of times finding something about you and a reason to contact our past clients. And this does it for us now. We have a good value proposition for them. We show them that we're their real estate agent for life because we care about them long after they bought the property. And we can stay in contact with them each and every month. And it's cheap. So, questions?
What's the scenario where they would risk their title? So I get a call every week.
Yeah.
I want to sell my property. Here's a vacant lot over on the coast, and it's all fake.
Yeah.
Is that an example?
Yeah. So we had one recently that a guy was trying, he was actually fraudulently had trust documents. And he was trying to sell the property. When the escrow company called us and said, hey, we need you to release your lock. We called the true property owner and said, hey, are you really trying to sell your property? And he was like, no, somebody had fake trust documents. We notified title company. But we also, with our monitoring, a lot of companies that monitor will monitor anything that happens in the county recorder's office. We're monitoring Zillow, Airbnb, Craigslist. We're looking forward to see anything that's going on. Our property is getting listed. We had one last week where someone had listed a bedroom for rent on Facebook Marketplace. All the property owner, hey, are you really listing a room for rent? And he's like, nope. So we helped him get that ad removed off the Facebook Marketplace. Tom? One guy I know.
Good to see you. I think I missed something. It sounded like you said $99 for them to sign up for their protection. A year or a month?
A year.
Okay, and then you said we pay for $20 a year.
So 2 different products. One is protection. The 99 is protection. If the people say, hey, I want to pay for the protection and not just be monitored, I want to actually lock down my property, it's $99 a year. For you to set up people for monitoring that's free of charge, it's $20 a year, unlimited process.
So I could set up my entire database, everyone I know,
Yep.
for $20.
For
and
$20.
they'll be monitored. So that they'll get alert,
Perpetuity.
and I'll get alert, or just them?
They'll get alert. Not now you do get a copy of the emails, but figure if you had, you set up 100 clients on there, you're getting 100 emails a month. You really want that, but you can go on there and see what emails we sent.
So they get an alert if someone puts it up for rent, but they're not going to get blocked. Like you're not going to block it. You're not going to hold a lock if they're trying to sell it.
No.
That's the difference.
Yeah, so if they pay for the protection, then that's when we lock down the property, and that's more involved. The monitoring is just free. We just need email address and we start monitoring.
And you're not going to call.
We don't market to them
You
at
just let them.
So is it like Equifax for your credit, where you lock it down, but this is for your house?
100% like that. And a lot of people ask, what's the difference between title insurance and what we do? So title insurance, if you don't buy an expanded policy, basically protects you from the date of closing backwards. Anything that happened backwards, you're covered for. If you buy an expanded policy, which I recommend, a lot of people say, oh, you don't need the expanded policy. It's 10%. Pay for it. It's well worth it. It does cover fraud, but it only covers the correction of fraud. So what we do is we actually stop the fraud from happening. So you don't have to worry about that protection. And if you do have fraud that happens, you're covered up to $1 million for the correct.
It's preventative.
Questions? Awesome. I'll hang around. Last time I didn't. I'll hang around this time. So if you have a question.
Can you just, so a lot of people know what home title law is.
Yeah.
Can you kind of just explain the difference, the total difference between you know, home title lock and what you guys.
Sure. Home title lock strictly monitors the county recorder. That's all they do. So as soon as something hits the county recorder, they notify the homeowner that, hey, a lien has been placed on your home. Hey, a loan has been taken out. Hey, your property sold. They'll notify the client that it's out. So with us, we're either gonna notify prior to, because we saw it on the MLS or we saw it somewhere. Or we are gonna notify, in terms of marketing, monitoring, we're gonna notify them after something happens. With protection, we stop it from ever happening. So as soon as that transaction goes into title companies pull a prelim, they see our lock on it. We get them every day now, and they call us and say, hey, we need to remove this before we can continue on with the sale. We don't remove it till we talk to the true owner that we know is the owner to validate that they're trying to sell or refinance their house. Once they give us permission to do that, we release the lien on the property.
You give referrals?
Do we give referrals? You'll get referrals.
Yes.
I don't have any cards. If you want questions, I'm easy to get. Jim@equityprotect.com. Jim@equityprotect.com. Email me and I will respond. And I don't know if you can send out that slide deck, but it has the email or the address you go to our. Absolutely. I'll
Hey,
hang
Jim,
around,
can
too.
you hear
Awesome.
me?
All right, thank you, Jim.
Can you guys hear me?
That was well, thank you for driving all the way over to share that. This is a tool that you can guys, like, I would make a video about this. I would start calling your clients one by one, like all the time. We're like, hey, we gotta follow up every 90 days. What am I gonna say? How are the kids? You know, how's the house? You need a valuation on your home? You want an equity report? This is something unique that you can now offer that I bet you nobody else is calling them about. So thank you. Our next speaker, without further ado, she's incredible. She's probably the smartest realtor I know. Present company included. She is an what we call her? I don't know if she's gorgeous. That's actually what I call my wife. But she's not my wife. She's Jared's wife. Everybody say hi, Jared. Don't want to piss that guy off. Explicit Barbie. That's how somebody describes you. She's like an explicit Barbie. Everybody, please welcome to the front of the room, Cyndy Silva.
Girl. Thank you. For myself, so I don't like to throw it across the room. Well, thank you, everyone. It's so lovely to see all these faces, and I know a lot of you traveled kind of far to be here, so thank you all for coming. So Johnny asked me to come and share some tricks and tips that are seeming to be working for me right now. As we left last year, kind of got into a market that we were seeing there was some changes. Generally we see markets on 7-year cycles. Well, I've been in this market for 11 years and we've been going like this for 11 years. So there is going to be one point we're going to start doing this. Hopefully it's not soon, but let's be honest, it might be around the corner. And you don't want to wait till that happens. You need to prepare yourself now. So for me, just to kind of give you a little background on, how I got into this industry. Back in 1997, I actually had a family friend who owned a glass and door shop in Marin County called Old Town Glass. And at the time I was finishing up the JC. I was an international model at that time as well, touring around, and I still needed another job to help pay for college. So I decided, why not do this? Ended up falling in love with the construction industry at that point. Never thought, doors and windows could be that exciting, but they really are. Working at that company is then what brought me to this area. I was asked to come here and open up Anderson Windows, one of the largest window companies in the world, and we were moving to Sacramento. So I did come here and I moved. That's how Jared and I relocated here. We thought we were crazy leaving the Bay Area, but one of the best moves that we ever did. And I came to run the inside sales there. From that job at Anderson Windows, I was then asked to come run one of our biggest commercial competitors, which was our biggest client at the time, which was Radio Construction. Radio Construction was a company that did finished carpentry. So for all of you that don't know what that is, that's windows, doors, cabinets, crown molding, millwork. That's what they did during the peak of this industry. They were building, we would run crews about 300 people a day is what I was running. And we were running crews in this area, Visalia and Reno. I was reading all the blueprints. I was designing the model homes, ordering all this stuff, making sure my guys were doing what they were supposed to do, which was a great job. From that job, then I was brought over to another company, which is L&L Wood Products. L&L Wood Products is another door and millwork company. They were based out of Southern California, and they were deciding they were going to want to open a Northern California branch. I was given dirt and said, build a company here in NorCal. So that was a really exciting job for me. I actually built the warehouse, designed a warehouse, the price books, trained everyone. Great company, very exciting to actually watch the company get built from the dirt up. Then I got pregnant and I said, I'm going to go back to work. I'm the boss. I'm going to go back to work. I built myself this beautiful office. And then I lasted 6 weeks and it was like, I can't do this. I need to be around my babies. So I then was a stay-at-home mom for 8 years, which I think was a real privilege to be able to stay home until my kids were in school full time. At that time, I worked out and had a very best friend that most of you know, Darcy Stratton. Darcy Stratton at the time was on Brent Gove's team, and she was always coming to me with questions about homes and stuff, and I always had the answers for her. And she goes, "Why aren't you in real estate?" And I said, "No, I never thought about being a realtor before." My best friend is very persistent, all of you that know her, and she did not give up on me until the day she brought me into Keller Williams back then, walked me into Brent Gove's office. And next thing I walked out, Keller Williams was paying for me to go to school and I was on Brent Gove's team. And here I am 11 years later. So that's kind of the background to where I got to today. What I want to share to you is things that I am implementing in my business today, things that I wasn't doing in the past before, that is working for me. So today I'm going to share these with you, and I'm actually going to give you these tools to take with you so you could just copy them and implement them yourself. It is talked about more on Johnny's show, so make sure you listen to Johnny's show. I don't want to go too much into the story about the clients behind them. What I want to show you is what I'm doing to make it work. So the first thing that I am very into is, well, let's see if I can work this. Yeah. That. Sorry, my assistant made this, so I don't really know how it works. Is Popeyes. And the reason I love Popeyes is because it is something that I love to do. I am a bargain shopper. I love shopping for those discounts to do a Popeye because no one wants to pay full price for a Popeye that you're dropping off. And, it's something like everyone has something that works for them. Some people love cold calling. I've tried it, doesn't work for me, hurts my feelings. I rather someone, drop off a Popeye and they don't open the door, my feelings aren't hurt, but you hang up on me, man, my day is ruined. So I had to figure out something else that worked for me. So what I'm going to share with you, which this was really shocking when I did this the other day, is I spent $174 in Popeyes that turned into $1.74 million in listings. Ironic, it's the same kind of number. And then also gave me $1.25 million in purchases. So $174 made me a lot of money. And I did this within a couple of weeks. So what I'm going to do is share these Popeyes with you. These were some of the Popeyes that I did purchase from another agent out of state. And then I altered into what worked with our area around here. So I'm going to go over the 3 of them that just made this happen. So the first one that I did is this one. And once again, I'm going to give you guys all these so you could put your picture in it and make it yours. So this was a Popeye that it says that we've got the insider information on this home. And this is a QR code, which I will go over with you guys on how to build a single site website. And this is some information. What I did is I put these in a little plastic bag, all those little gift bags that you get from the Dollar Tree. And then what I put inside of there, I just got like a bag of tricks up here. What I put inside of each little bag was some apple cider. I also we got cinnamon sticks, and then I put some caramel candies in it, and I wrapped it up with a orange bow. So what it was is a cute little cider mix thing. Went around, knocked on, and I always do 100 of them, you guys. I do 100 of them to the closest place. So I always do 100. It's easier for my math too. Doesn't matter if the neighborhood is 104. I just stick to 100. That's my number, and it's usually easy. It's to buy things in bulk than 100. So what I did on that is I ordered the cider from Amazon at $30. That was for 100 packets of them. Cider is a little bit expensive, who knew? Caramels, I spent $5 on Amazon. Cinnamon sticks, $10 on Amazon. Ribbon, I spent $2 at the Dollar Tree. And then I put these postcards together. So these are going to be a postcard that I have. I tried to print it myself, but I get too frustrated with the printers. It's easier to order them. You could get 4 on a page and it's $1 a page. They'll have them ready for you in 24 hours. I use Sir Speedy Printing. I don't know if any of you guys have used them. They're over on Douglas. His wife is a realtor, so he's really into printing realtor things. And I get a lot of extra copies for free often, which I really like. Sometimes I usually order 100 and get about 120. So I really like them because they really like supporting realtors. Then, so what I did is, once again, I had a listing. How I got that listing, it was a past client. They bought a new construction home. They bought the little teeny 1,000 square foot JMC home. And I said, oh, sweethearts, you know, you don't have kids yet. You know, you think you're going to be able to live in this 1,000 square foot house. Well, they made it 14 months. And we're like, you're right, Cindy. We can't do this. And we're like, okay, well, you know, we usually want people to live in their house 2 years. And I'm thinking, oh God, this neighborhood is only 14 months old. Who's going to buy and sell in this neighborhood? They just all moved in. You know, they're going to get hit with capital gains. Went and knocked on everybody's door. I would say maybe honestly, 10% answer, guys. It's not a high turnout rate to answer. That's okay. You leave it on their doorstep where they're going to see it. Sometimes you go into areas, you'll see there's been a lot of people passing out stuff and they have a lot of stuff. I put it all in the corner and make sure my stuff is right there. I don't throw their stuff away, but I do hide other people's stuff. So mine is the present one that they see. And people love it. So I ended up selling that house very quickly. And then I get a call probably as soon as it closed 4 days later of a neighbor 4 doors down. Cindy, we saw how quickly you sold that house. We loved your Popeye. That's how we had your number still. We want you to list your house. We're moving out of state. Awesome. So now I got my second listing from it. So of course you can't do the same Popeyes, right? You don't want to do that. So then I was like, okay, what is my second Popeye idea going to be? Well, my second one that I did was this one. So just to show you guys, this is a real simple one. This is Skinny Pop, guys, that you buy at Sam's Club. And these little cards that you see right here, you could buy these on Amazon. 100 cards for, what is it, $10. Super cheap. So once again, I did 100 of these for $55, so 55 cents. So what the great thing about these is you could use these for two different things. One, you could use them for your open house if you just need something that you need to serve at your open house. Or I use this as a Popeye. And the reason how I did it as a Popeye is I took my husband's P-Touch and I literally added the address and what time the open house was to the bottom of it. And I also went and passed those out. The amount of people that would come to my open house, honestly, to thank me over a bag of popcorn was ridiculous. We had over 125 people to our open house, a 14-year-old, subdivision, which right across the street, they're still building these same floor plans, but I'm the one who got all the traffic there. The great thing is, and one of the neighbors came over, same thing, they've only lived in the house 14 months, educated them a little bit on the school district. They didn't realize that parts of Roseville feeds into the center school district. They don't get to go to West Park. And they did not know that because they were from the Bay Area. They were not smart enough to hire a local agent. When they came here, they brought their Bay Area agent. Of course, the Bay Area agent doesn't know what center high school or center school district means. They're just going to assume it's in Roseville. They didn't think to ask. Well, their children were getting ready to go into high school and they were like, wait, that is not, we thought we got to go to the pretty school down the street. Well, sorry guys, you didn't. So had a great conversation with them, ended up selling that house in, I think, a week and a half. 2 doors down, I get a phone call from one of the ladies who came by to thank me for my popcorn. Now I got that listing. Once again, shocked again. This is a 14, but no one thinks to market new construction, guys. New construction's where I'm crushing it right now. And once again, I mentioned this on Johnny's show too. And when you do new construction, guys, do not go against the builder. That is the number one thing you don't want to do is commit competition. My builders across the street that were selling this floor plan, guess what? They got every Popeye too. Jesse got every Popeye that I was doing because I wanted him to know to send people to my house if it wasn't working in his subdivision and vice versa. The last thing you ever want to do is fight against a builder that you're next door to. Become their friends because they will help you out. And sometimes when we need closings, like one of mine had closings and they had a bad inspector was like, they did this wrong, this wrong, this wrong. And I was like, no, they didn't. All homes are built that way. Called Jesse over at JMC. The actual general on the job went, took pictures at all of it, sent it back, sent it to the buyer and said, look, you guys are wrong. Here's my proof. They backed me up on why we weren't going to pay for something. You got to love when people send 4,000 requests for repairs on a 14-month-old home. You're like, no, your inspector did not know what they're doing. So that was a great thing. So I like this one because you could I have boxes of these saved in my house. So if you're like last minute open house and you're like, what am I going to serve? Just grab those and throw them in a basket and people love them. Yeah.
So the prior one that you did,
Yes.
the insider knowledge on this home,
Yeah.
that's the listing that you sold prior and then it wasn't on the market yet, so you were letting people know.
So this one was, I did this for the open house. So I actually wanted this one, believe it or not. I'm a very busy person, and that's why I don't have a lot of time to do these cold callings and all these other things. This one, I actually ran out of time. I was supposed to go pass this out, 2 days before my open house. I ended up having to wake up really early that morning and pass them out before my open house. So that one I actually passed out the day of my open house, which worked great because I got to meet all the neighbors, and you know, it's a great face to face when you're like, hey, I want to invite you in case you have any family or friends that want to be your neighbors. You know, apologize. I'm sorry if there's going to be a lot of cars in the neighborhood. So you're building good rapport immediately with these neighbors by dropping something. But funny too is you'll never know what lenders are in the neighborhood. I had 3 lenders show up. Oh my God, these Popeyes are dropping by my house are amazing. One of them happened to be the lender for JMC. And he's like, I went to work. Oh, they're working on the elevator. So, you know, you just never know who's in those neighborhoods. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next
Now,
one.
Cindy, is this one free open house or at the open house?
This one was I passed out 2 days before the open house. But I'm just saying you could keep them without putting the information on it and just serve them at your open house, you know, just, you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone kind of with it is what I was doing. So that one was to market the open house. Then once I got that listing, of course, you know, now I'm in the neighborhood and people are like, what is Cyndy gonna bring next? Like literally the neighbors are like so excited. They follow me down the street to see what I'm gonna put on their doorstep next. So then I was like, okay, what can I make again? So this one I decided, I was at Sam's Club again, and they had the giant bag of gummy bears, in an individual package. You get 125 of them for $19. Great deal. I'm always looking at something that could be broken out in pieces. That doesn't cost me a lot of money. So I do a lot of times where I buy the stuff first and then have to think of a slogan later. Thank you, ChatGPT. So this is the one that I did for the 3rd listing. And once again, these were all in a matter of 1 month. So in 1 month, I did 3 Popeyes. So this was, I just stapled the gummy bears to the top of it. This was just a little thing that I did. And that one ended up costing me 44 cents each. So these Popeyes, and I'll give you all 3 of these. So what I'll do is, actually, I might be on the next slide. Oh, well, let me go on to my next slide. Sorry. So then, of course, now I've sold 3 on that street, right? So now I'm going to do another marketing piece, right? Because now I've come in. And this street, I just crushed it. I just sold 3 houses in a month over there. So now I want to make sure everybody knows that. So then I made up another marketing piece. This one was one of my favorites. I know it's kind of blurry, but what I did is I wanted to make it really personal to the area. So if you see, it says Palisades Village Lemonade. That is the neighborhood. That's the neighborhood that they live in. You know, the little, you see it there, it has my logo on the lemonade stand and everything like that. So I wanted to make sure that they realize these are personal. This isn't just something they drop off for everyone. It's personal. So this one I just dropped off. Actually, I shouldn't say I did. Jared dropped it off for me. And what I did is I attached a little packet of, what I did is I went on Amazon again, and they sell these little packets of lemonade. And I attached one of the packets of lemonade to it. And that was my next Popeye, was lemonade. And so this was just kind of a little, you know, a little bit of a more of a bragging one at the end, but you have to offer something, right? There's no point in dropping something off unless you offer something. So of course, this is a free home evaluation, no pressure, just some expert advice. So that was what their takeaway was from that was. And I will also give you that one so you guys could change it in any which way you want as well. So these are kind of one tactic that I've been doing that's very easy, not very time consuming, and almost everything can be ordered online, which makes it really, really nice. What I will do for you guys, I think this is my next one. If you guys want to text me, that is my cell phone number, just Popeyes in your name. I will forward you the templates for it. I can't give you the link because last time I did that on something on Facebook, someone somehow got into my Canva and started redoing all my stuff. With their stuff. So yeah, and then I couldn't find any of my marketing. So if you guys want to text me, that's my number, 916-878-6391. I will give you those Popeyes. You guys should all be using Canva. It's free with the XP. All you do is this will automatically load in Canva and you just start replacing your stuff. So this should take you no more than 5 minutes. One other thing that you will notice that was showing up on a lot of those was my QR code. Now, I want to know, raise up hands, how many in here are using the single site website through Canva? Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. Okay,
Yours went to it before.
so Canva, these are all tools that are free to us. You could go on, and this is very impressive to your seller. It is called a single site website. It will take you about 15 minutes to build it. I'll send you, my next slide will tell you how to get it, the class that I went to. And what it does is it makes you this QR code, if you guys can see it in the back. When you scan this QR code, it takes you to a website. And the website has your pictures. They can automatically schedule a showing with you right there. It also is a QR code you could put up at your open house that people could scan. This has been very powerful for me. I put this on my very first one, which was on Ranch View Drive, and Brian, who I saw he's around here, his client actually bought. Woo! That was the buyer's agent, so we were super excited to work together. 2 in a row, Brian and I got to work together. But because this sign was up and there was a clients from out of state that happened to be driving around Whitney Ranch, they wanted to live in Whitney Ranch, and they saw this QR code and they scanned it and they scheduled an appointment with me. They didn't really want to see that house, but it was the only way they could find really information accessible, they said, from other agents. They scanned this QR code. I called them immediately. 10 days later, we were in escrow on a $900,000 home. So once again, this costs $15, guys, and this is made from Larry at Paradise Signs. So once again, $15, yes, do you have to throw it away because I think it's very beneficial to put the number of the house number and address on it. But you guys should be using this. If you have not,
Made in Canva.
this is all made in Canva, absolutely. So this is the lady that I took. This is how you take the class, you guys. It's 20 minutes, it's not very long, but these single site websites are so great. They impress the heck out of your sellers. Like I said, it could go in the house, it could go on the side, but this is just another tool to get leads really easy and spend $15. So I highly recommend, if you don't already follow her, please follow her. She is a social media manager who works just with realtors. So she's really good about stuff. She does everything through Canva. So this is something, since we all have Canva for free and Canva Pro, we should all be taking advantage of that. Make sure I'll leave that up there for a little while. Any questions about this, since the majority of you haven't heard of the single site website before? Yes.
So Cindy, you took the class and then you created that for free. It was the $15 to create the physical sign? Is that?
To actually get this sign, to have Larry make it at Paradise Signs. You're right, it was $15, but it was free to make the website.
Yeah, free to create it, but to actually make the physical piece was $15.
Yeah, $15 and I'll have it to you in 24 hours.
Do you have any popcorn left?
What was that?
Do you have any popcorn?
Yes. What kind would you like? We have.
Any.
Perfect.
Thanks, man.
There you go, love. And once you have this QR code, guys, this is the QR like you saw on the very first one. So we're putting these on the open house. Say they can't make it to the open house, they could scan this, a neighbor, and I could get them a showing at it, because there's actually a showing app built into this website when you do it through Canva. So definitely take advantage of this, guys, because I think I haven't seen anyone else doing it yet. At least around here local. So definitely something to take advantage
Canva
of.
sites are free, because I used to use the site, it was $15 of.
Yeah, so Canva Pro is now free through EXP. So yeah, so you have to have the Pro in order to do this program. You can't have the standard one, but I believe with EXP, it's the Pro program that you have, right? Okay. Yes.
So are you building a site for that particular listing?
Mm-hmm.
So every time you have a listing or you are building the site within 15 minutes or so, just particularly for them?
Absolutely. Each listing will now get it. And it's great marketing, because you kind of got to time out with, like Connie was mentioning, this market is starting to slow down a little bit. So where before, you could kind of do all your marketing in 1 week and it would sell. We kind of got to space stuff out now. So it's just another feature. And then I always print it out and then put it in a really nice frame. And then I bring it over and say, hey, I'm going to leave this out, for potential buyers when they come through. Do you want to scan it and see what it's like? And my sellers are like, oh, cool. Look, they could do that right now. And then I go, and I'm going to put it out on your sign. So it's great. No, it's a great another tip that no one else is doing during their listing.
Do you hang that sign only on your open house, the for sale sign in your yard?
Yes.
Or do you put it anywhere else?
Nope, just on my for sale sign, just as a normal writer. Yes.
How is this different? This QR code is different than the one you created in KV code. Because you can create one in KV code too, right? For the same listing.
So, as you know, I don't use KV code. So I have no idea. I don't know. The biggest thing to me was the scheduler, that it automatically, they could put in their information, it goes to my Google Calendar, and then we could schedule a showing. So I don't know if KB Core does that. So that, it's instant access. So literally it takes them, and I tested it out, like I'll put it in myself. And it's not very complex. It's just 2 pages of a website. So it's not like a bunch of stuff they could scroll through. Right to the point, you put your favorite pictures up there, put a little bit of information, and you don't want to give it all away because you want them to schedule the appointment with you. So I'd be curious to see what the difference is between the KB Core, because the biggest thing is the free scheduling that.
It creates the one-page website for you, because you, like, once you create a QR code for the property, from the KB code, it will take people to the property information, but I'm not sure about the schedule.
She's making this before the listing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Manual.
For
You're right,
me,
that might be the difference.
this works better for me because once again, as I had mentioned, I'm a busy person and I'm not gonna lie. I don't pay attention to my KB Core. I'll check and all of a sudden there's like 15 leads in it that I have not called. I don't check my KB Core. I like this because I get a text and email instantly and I can respond instantly. So this works better for me. I'm really bad on things that I have to follow.
You want me to call those 15 leads? I take care of them.
I pass them out all the time because I never even know. I like go log on. I'm like, oh, see, my bad. Yeah, so don't ever go to KB Core if you want to get a hold of me. That's back when I got it. Any other questions about this? Yes.
When you make a QR code and you have a website and then you say if you want to do it again, is it the same QR code and you just edit the website?
No, unfortunately, you gotta redo it every time. The good thing is it doesn't take long to build these. So like once you start doing them, they get really, really quick. But no, the bummer is because I've tried to figure out a way like, can I use the same QR code? I'm like, maybe just get a sticker for the address to save myself money. No, you got it.
You get to put a new sticker QR.
You can, and you can put a new sticker. So for example, you change the price on it, you gotta build a new website, guys. It doesn't just change the price. But Larry does make stickers. So I have I'm sure all of you have seen it, the commercial listing on Pacific Street in Rockland. And we did a price drop. So I was like, oh man, and the commercial sign are very expensive, those huge ones. I'm like, what am I gonna do? He just made me a sticker that went right over it, and then it changed it. So yeah, you will have to change it if there's any modification to what you originally put into it. The
And
only
she
bummer.
teaches you on the class how to build that website?
Yeah. And it's a super, the classes, I want to say 20 minutes. And what we did is we saved it, so we could go back and forth to it often because sometimes we forget to make them. So, save what she sends you the training in your email so you could go back and forth to it. Because otherwise you got to try to find it in her social media and it kind of takes a long time to scroll around. Any more questions on this? Nice. You guys are all going to implement it, right? Yes. Some other.
borrow Jared?
Sometimes, Johnny, second stuff and whatever you guys want.
Guys, is this good? You wanna keep it
Your
together?
phone
Yeah.
number.
I'm like, what else did I bring in my bag? Okay, so another thing I started doing this year that I've never done before is farming. The reason I never farmed before because it sounded like it was a lot of work and a lot of houses to go to. But I clearly know that's something really important. Was able to get with our title company. They are such a powerful tool. You guys have been using your title companies because they're going to be able to tell you what the ratio is of people that are moving. I decided, since I'm a busy person, I'm gonna pick my own neighborhood. That is my farm, my own neighborhood. Because the average age of my neighborhood right now is 80. I hate to say it, but they're all gonna be passing away. Which means there's gonna be a lot of listings coming up. But I lived there for 21 years and I know everyone well. So not only do I so I started farming this year. I give Jared most of the credit because he does most of the walking for me up the hill. But I make them all. And so we're doing things and I'm gonna do it. I committed starting in December and I've done a pop by every single month to 100 of these. I've already gotten one listing out of it. So once again, these things work, guys. All you need is one deal to pay for it all and then pay for the rest of the year to do it. What I try to do is something that people would like, something that's different, not a piece of paper or a photocopy. One, easy one in spring that everyone's doing is, forget me not flowers. You guys know they make them these cute little packages that say grow houses into homes on Amazon. Way cheaper than anywhere else. And then on the back, they even have a part where you can put all your company information now. So these are like made for realtors. So like that's always a good spring one.
Amazon?
Amazon. Yep. Another great one is I'm getting ready to do is a summer one. So I teamed up with one of our affiliates and I've got sunscreen. So this is going to, and actually the sunscreen came with these carabiner clips and I'm going to clip it onto the corner of them. And that's what I'm going to do my next pop by is sunscreen. So there's always going to be something and people will pay attention to something that has something on it that they're like, what is that? Versus a piece of paper that's left on their doorstep. So, and the biggest thing, as we all know, is continue to doing it every month, and that is hard. I'm not gonna lie, like, it is hard to think of 12 different things to do and things to drop off that people are really gonna like and not get a call that stop leaving garbage on my doorstep, because I just had a friend tell me she tried to do one, and the lady decided it was in her neighborhood as well. Her neighbor decided to pick it up, walk into Realty One and throw it at the hostess that was sitting there. She was like, oh my God, like you have to go to that extreme. But some people get really angry. So I try to leave things that hopefully people won't do, absurd things like that has happened to that agent. And there's also things you could do. Not only my Popeyes not stop at the farm, but they also go with my client appreciation invitations as well. For example, one of my biggest ones that I do that most of you know about and come to every year is my paddleboarding events. Darcy Stratton and I have been doing the paddleboarding event for years now. We invite everyone in pretty much everyone in our industry comes. Our stagers come, our title companies come, our lenders come. Everybody comes out, and all of our clients. And we do a huge barbecue. We have lots of drinks. We have the best time. It's a sunset cruise. So, for example, it's great to send that out, an email, but we like to send it out a couple times to make sure we always have at least a minimum of, I said, 100 paddle boarders. So we like to make it a big event. This year I got mini beach balls. So not only are they going to get an email, I'm going to put a little card together with a beach ball because it can fit in a regular envelope, and I'm going to mail it to them. There's lots of businesses going out of business right now where you could get great deals. One of them right now, guys, is Party City. I was able to get 100 beach balls for $3 because everything is 90% off because they're closing. So these are the places you should be going to. Big Lots was another one. Big Lots is closing. Get online. American flags, a penny each. 4th of July is coming up. Things like that. So when you need to look at advantages. Unfortunately, people's negatives is being your positive. Is you could come in and get good deals. And sometimes my husband's had to build me a she shed full of products because they're going to be my next Popeyes and I have no more room to save them, but I couldn't pass up on the deal. So you should always be looking for something that you would like, something that people need. Whether it's, and some people think, okay, well, sunscreen's lame, but guess what? I guarantee someone's going to put this on their bag and carry it around, and it's got your information on it. And if something is not branded with your information, there's always room to put a sticker on the back. There's always room to put a sticker on the back of everything. And customer appreciation events is another way, guys, that's super fun to stay in front of your clients. I have never not done my paddleboarding event and not get 2 deals out of it. Never have I got less than 2 deals out of just throwing that event. And if people love it, they could bring their dogs, they could bring their kids, that's probably my favorite one. But, my friends and I, we get together every year. This was one of our lists, and we put together a list of all of our, events that we're going to do, how we're going to do it, what days we're going to do it. Sometimes we get to them, sometimes we don't, not going to lie. This year our Easter one had to be canceled. But the great thing is these don't have to be expensive either. I have never done a customer appreciation event by myself. I've always done it with other realtors. And the reason is, number one, you get to cut costs down because you're splitting it. Number two, no one knows if that's your client or Heather's client or Jared's client. Nobody knows that. So merge together with other realtors to save money and throw that customer appreciation event. And the more people there, they all think, oh my God, that's so cool. Like Cyndy has all these clients. They don't know only a quarter of them are mine, so it makes it look really, really impressive. Any questions about that? No, I think that was my. Okay, well, that was my little 2 cents on Popeyes. I will, like I said, go in and text me, guys. I will send you all those information with all the links of everything. And if you guys are stuck and you want to do a Popeye and you don't know of something, call me. I'm really good at creating these things. I can give you things I've done in the past, give you examples. This is something I have a true passion for, and it works. It works. I don't know why, but it's working right now, and it's creating future business for later. So thank you guys for having me.
And real quick, there's also a Facebook.
Yeah.
A Facebook.
So yeah, and if
Popeye.
you guys are not on the Facebook pop-up group, Popeye group, you should. It's an amazing site.
Yeah.
It's literally called
Facebook
Popeye.
Popeyes for realtors.
Popeyes for Realtors. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
So you do it.
Guys, wasn't she phenomenal?
Yes.
Super busy, but she took time to share. And what I like about Cyndy is she's not telling you anything. She's not selling, here's a course, here's my templated thing, sign up $5.99 a month and you'll get whatever you need for your Popeyes. And she did this out of the kindness of her heart and to help everybody in this room. So thank you, Cyndy.
Thank you.
All right, just quick reminder, We are not in this room next week. We're gonna be at Catavadera. So we'll see you next week at Cata. Thank you for being here. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you.